Well, hello again, friends. And let me just see if I need to do any adjusting. Can you guys see me okay? I don't think there's anybody on live yet, so let me just make sure you guys can see me okay. Yep, I think you can. Okay, hi there. It's Thursday. It's 2 p.m. And do you know what that means? 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I have to preface it with that. It's 2 p.m. Eastern Time. It's Thursday. So what does that mean? It means it's time for another Gut Love Live session. So thanks so much for joining us for this one. Today it's all about the specific carbohydrate diet, or SCD for short. Today I'm going to be answering your top 4 questions about the specific carbohydrate diet. So last week, here's what happened. Just to give you a recap, because that's what led up to this video. So last week, here's what happened. Last week, I had a session, same time, same place, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on a Thursday, where I talked to you guys about gut healing diets, the ones that are getting all the hype. And I wanted to get rid of that hype, break through the clutter, and just break it down for you so that you could really figure out which of those might be best for you. And we talked about the gluten-free eating plan. We talked about the paleo, the specific carbohydrate diet, the autoimmune paleo, as well as the GAPS diet. And really cool, and of course this one is near and dear to my heart, the specific carbohydrate diet, because that's the one that I started back in 2008 when I started my gut healing journey, trying to heal naturally from Crohn's disease. So that's the one that's near and dear to my heart, and so I was so excited when I got a lot of Gut Love community moms having questions about the specific carbohydrate diet. And since I knew that they had questions, we know what that means. That means if they have questions, you have questions too. Maybe you've thought about it, especially if you have Crohn's or colitis. Maybe you have thought to yourself, I wonder about this specific carbohydrate diet. Maybe you've even been like me a few years ago, where you saw what it was all about and you just got overwhelmed. Or maybe you're just starting out. Any way you slice it, if you're interested in the specific carbohydrate diet to help quiet your gut struggles, then this is definitely going to be a video for you to watch. Now, before we get started, I have to introduce myself in case you've never been to the Gut Love Community Facebook page. I just want to let you know who I am. I'm Karen, the digestive coach for moms over at the Gut Love Community, where it's all about moving beyond medicine to quiet our gut struggles so that we can be the mom we always dreamed of being. How about that? Whoop, whoop. Isn't that fantastic? When we can get rid of those gut struggles or even just quiet them down, we can just be a better mom to our kids. We all want that. I know that that was the motivator that got me over the hump, that got me started on that journey, and I bet it's the same for you. You want to be the best mom to your kids, and you can start that by really getting to the root cause and healing your gut struggles. And before we get started, I've got to draw attention to the elephant in the room. That probably isn't even an elephant in the room for you, but just in case it is, yes, I'm wearing white. Yes, it's after Labor Day, and I'm wearing white. And it's not just a little bit after Labor Day, just in case you're watching this in the future. It's April. It's way after Labor Day, but I don't care. I like this shirt. I like white. It's pouring cats and dogs outside. It's even thundering here, and I just wanted to put my white shirt on. It's my prerogative. It's the way that I want to live. Anyway, I digress. But that I'm wearing my white shirt today. So yes, I know it's after Labor Day. I know I'm wearing a white shirt. I'm just going to wear it anyway. So let's get started talking about this. Okay, so I told you a little bit about me. I told you what we were going to be talking about today. I think we should just get to the questions. Let's just get to it. Okay, so I told you there were 4 questions I was getting, and I really hope this helps you. If you are thinking about the specific carbohydrate diet to help get to the root cause of your gut struggles, this is going to be a great question and answer for you, because these are the questions that I get over and over from people. And like I said, if somebody has a question, chances are somebody else has one too. Let's get started. Okay, if you see me looking down, I'm just reading the question here. So this question comes from Sharon, who is in Ontario. Hello, Canada. Hello, Sharon. Sharon is a member of the Gut Love community. Okay, so let's see what Sharon says. How do I find time to make the food? If you have ever thought about doing this and you've looked at the Breaking the Vicious Cycle book, which is the specific carbohydrate diet Bible, you probably said to yourself, wow, that is a lot of making my own food. I'm a mom, I'm busy, how could I possibly do that? And so I'm going to answer this question for you. Okay, I got this question so often that I actually created my top 10 list for this. This is my top 10 things you can do to make SCD food possible for your family. And so I created this actually a while ago, but I thought it'd be perfect to share with you guys today because I get this question a lot. How do you find time to make the food? I'm busy. How do you do that? And so I have this top 10 list. If you click the link, I think it's above this video, the top 10 things you can do to make SCD food easy. It's called something like that. It's above this video. If you click that link, then you'll see many different things you can do to really make this possible. But I don't want to leave you hanging. I don't want to leave you hanging, Sharon. So I'm going to give you three of these. Okay, so here's number one. Number one is just keep it simple. SCD is not synonymous with gourmet. This never has to be gourmet. This doesn't have to be even sit down at a restaurant service, right? Here's what you need. Like, let's say, for example, dinner. You're having dinner with your family and you're thinking, I have no idea what to make. I don't have any cookbooks. I don't know where to go. What should I make? Okay, here I'm going to break it down, keep it really simple for you. A meat or a fish, fruit, and a vegetable. Done. Meal done. It really is that simple. If you just put together meat and fish, a fruit and a vegetable, of course, there's going to be some rules to follow regarding what you can season those things with on the specific carbohydrate diet, but it really can be that simple. This does not have to be gourmet. It doesn't have to be fancy. Keep it simple. That's one of my tips to help you have time to make this food. Just keep it really simple. Make leftovers your friend, make salad your friend, meal prepping ahead of time your friend, but keep it really, really simple. It doesn't have to be a gourmet meal. Okay, another tip, get some cookbooks. You know, when you start this diet, when you start the specific carbohydrate diet, it can be really overwhelming because it's just so different from anything you've ever done before. And so my recommendation is just go ahead and spring for a few cookbooks, ones that are really going to help you. Now, not only do I collect cookbooks, I don't know. You can tell me in the comments if you collect cookbooks too, but I just love cookbooks, you know, where some people like to read magazines or a novel. I do like novels too, but I love a good cookbook. So you can get a bunch of cookbooks for the specific carbohydrate diet. So I collect cookbooks. I think I probably have every SCD cookbook made. So I want to share with you today my favorite ones. Okay, so here we go. Now, I have to tell you, they're well loved because I've had them for a long time, so it's a little embarrassing actually showing you this. Maybe you can't see through the camera, but here's this one. I just want to give you enough time you can write it down. You know what I'll do? I'll also put this in the notes so you can see it in the notes too, so you don't have to go back and watch this again. This is Lucy's Specific Carbohydrate Diet Cookbook. Love this cookbook. It's thin, right? And the recipes are super simple. My favorite recipe in here would have to be her pancakes. I make those all the time. Love, love, love her pancakes. There's a bunch of other ones. You know, there's desserts, there's dishes like main dishes, there's appetizers. Oh, there's a wonderful salad dressing in here, a chicken Italiano that I love. Anyway, it's worth it. And I think this is perfect for the SCD beginner. When you're just starting out and you don't want to do anything too fancy, like I said, keeping it simple. When you're just starting out, this is a great cookbook because there's nothing too fancy in here and it all follows the specific carbohydrate diet to the letter. Okay, this cookbook is great. Lucy Rosette, she used to have a website. You might want to see if she still has her website available. I bet she does, but she's a great resource for the specific carbohydrate diet. So there's that. Okay, let me set this down. Okay, here's another one. Cooking for the specific carbohydrate diet. Cooking for the specific carbohydrate diet. And this one is by Erica Kerwin. Now, if you're familiar with the specific carbohydrate diet, then you've got to know Erica Kerwin. She has a website, Comfy Belly. So definitely check that out as well. But this is her cookbook, and guess what my favorite recipe here is? Her waffles. It's kind of a toss-up between the waffles and the cinnamon bun muffins. Like, swear to God, they taste like cinnamon bun. They're so good. Addictive, really. But here's that cookbook. I would definitely check this one out if you were just getting started. Here's another one, Danielle Walker, Against All Grain. Now, Danielle Walker also has a website, too, that she has several cookbooks out, at least 3 by now, I think. But here is, I believe this was her first one. Danielle Walker has gotten a lot more paleo lately, but her first cookbook is definitely awesome. Can you guys hear that thunder? Oh my gosh, it's crazy. But I hope that the internet doesn't go out. Her first cookbook was really great for people with the specific carbohydrate diet. And all of her recipes can be made specific carbohydrate diet. It's just that she's gone a little more paleo now, but this is a great, great cookbook. I'm trying to think of what my favorite one in here is. Oh, they're all so good. Oh, maybe the slow cooker beef chili. Let me show you the picture. So even when you're on the specific carbohydrate diet, you still can be eating some pretty good food. Okay, and lastly, if you were just starting out with just a few, these were the few I would start out with. This is Grain-Free Gourmet. Grain-Free Gourmet is by Jody Bager and Jenny Lass. Okay, and they have another cookbook as well, but this is the one I started out with. Again, well loved. Some of the pages are coming out. They have this wonderful sage beef stew that's fabulous in this one. Their tacos are great. Carrot sage stew, that's what it is. Another one is apple harvest stew. There's another, I think in this cookbook they have their pizza dough recipe, which is fabulous, as well as a cheese-made taco. How cool is that? It's a taco shell made out of cheese. So I think it's in this cookbook as well. But here's another one, Grain-Free Gourmet is that one. So I just wanted to share with you, getting started, those would be some things to do. Gosh, I just wonder if you guys hear that thunder because it's really loud. But so those are just a few of the tips that are on my top 10 list to make SCD cooking easy. So go ahead and grab that. It's free. It's a free cheat sheet. If you click on the link, you will get access to that cheat sheet. And it has 10 tips to help making the SCD quicker, easier, more friendly when you have a family. So definitely check out that. But that was the first 3 tips from there. Okay, that was question number 1 from Sharon from Ontario. Let's look at question number 2. Let's see, question number 2 is from Caroline in Maryland. Got to give a shout out to my girl in Maryland because I'm from Maryland, so love that. Okay, so do you know what I just realized, guys? You probably didn't even realize this, but I only gave you 2 tips. I said I was going to give you 3, and I only gave you 2. I'm gonna back it up. Let's back it up. Okay, so the last tip is get support. The first tip was keep it simple. The second tip was get some cookbooks, and these are all things you can do to make this process and this transition in your life a little bit easier. Okay, and then number 3 is get support. Trust me when I tell you this is so difficult to do alone. I know because, and I know this wouldn't be you, but this is what happened to me. I looked at this book, this Breaking the Vicious Cycle, which is all about the specific carbohydrate diet, and if you're gonna do this eating plan, you gotta get that book. But I looked at it and it was so confusing to me that I just left it. For 5 years. For 5 years, it sat in my basement. It traveled around the world with me because we were in the military, and it just sat in a box until a doctor said to me, there's nothing else I can do for you. And when that happened, that was the light that gave me the kick in the ass to actually go and do something. I went and found that book. I read it cover to cover, and I still was confused, but I knew that it was my savior. I knew that it was my way out of chronic Crohn's disease. I knew it was going to, at the very least, help quiet my symptoms and help me get off some of the toxic medications that I was on. And so I knew I needed help. So I found a health coach to help me start the process. I ended up working with her for a year, and it was what made me decide that I had to be a health coach. So it was a really powerful experience. But do yourself a favor in the beginning, get support. It could be a friend that's already done the program. It could be a family member that's doing it right now. But somehow find support, find somebody to help you to just get you off the ground. I'd say for at least the first few months. Okay, so those are my top 3 tips there, Sharon. So I hope that helps you, and I hope that it helps other moms that probably have the same question. I'm just going to grab a cup of tea, and then we'll continue. Okay, now let's get back to Caroline in Maryland. Here's question number 2. I just started SCD and don't know what to cook. Are there free recipes on the internet? So I just showed you the cookbooks, but those are not free. If you're just starting out on this, you might want something, a way to try this out for free, right? Something that's simple. Hold on a second, I think I put hair in my mouth. Have you guys ever met my golden? I have a golden retriever, and as you know, if you have a golden or dogs that shed a lot, I can't even get it. Ugh. Okay, I think I got it. If you have dogs that shed a lot, or you have a golden retriever, you know you're going to find hair pretty much everywhere. So I just took a sip of that tea, and I think there was probably dog hair on it. Got on my lip, but crisis averted. I'm okay now. Obviously, I'm kidding. Okay, so now back to her question. She wants some free internet resources, and I am happy to say that they are popping up everywhere. Great resources that are free with recipes included for the specific carbohydrate diet. Back in 2008, when I started this eating plan, there were only a couple. So I'm really happy that more and more and more are creeping up. So yes, Caroline, there are free resources. Let me give you some. And again, I'm looking down because I just want to make sure I give you all of the information. So here's my favorite one. They're all great, but there's just something about this one that calls to me. It's called No More Crohn's. And again, I'll put these links in the comments so that you don't have to write it down now. You could just look above this video and you can see it in the comments. NoMoreCrohns.com. This is a website run by Erin and her mom, and I can't remember her mom's name, but Erin and her mom create all kinds of recipes. They have really the most fantastic. These are the recipes I live on most, and my kids live on most in our house. I absolutely love her recipes. So definitely check out NoMoreCrohns.com. Hi, Stephanie. It's great to see you. Feel free to pop any questions that you have in the comment section, okay? So let's continue answering this question. Comfy Belly. ComfyBelly.com is another fabulous resource if you're looking for free recipes for the specific carbohydrate diet. Remember I was showing you guys that cookbook, and let me just get it again. That cookbook by Erica Corwin right here. She is the creator of the Comfy Belly website, and she has several of her recipes there for free. So again, I'll put that link right above the comments. It's not there yet, but I will definitely do that so you can find her website. So if you're looking for some really good specific carbohydrate diet recipes, definitely check out her website. Another one, now this one's been around for a while. It's called SCD Recipe, like specific carbohydrate diet. So scdrecipe.com. This one is just a wealth of recipes for the specific carbohydrate diet. And totally not gourmet style recipes, just really simple, really easy recipes that anybody can follow. So check out their website as well. Also, Pinterest. Pinterest is a fabulous place to get specific carbohydrate diet recipes. You just click on the picture and you're just going to be open to a world. In fact, you'll probably be stuck there for a long time because Pinterest just does that to us, doesn't it? So plan on a little bit of time, an hour or two, whatever you can manage without the kids. Plan on a little bit of time if you go there, but great, fabulous recipes. And the really cool thing about Pinterest, of course, is that there's pictures. I don't know about you, but I love a recipe where I can see the pictures. So of course it's Pinterest. You're going to have pictures there. So that's a great resource as well. And then lastly, again, this is another cookbook I showed you guys a few minutes ago. The Against All Grain lady, Danielle Walker, she has a fabulous website with free recipes as well. And her website is againstallgrain.com. And so you can get recipes there. Now remember I said she's not 100% specific carbohydrate diet. She has a lot of paleo recipes, but then she'll show you this is how you make this gluten-free. Well, not gluten-free because all of them would be gluten-free, but this is how you make this egg-free. This is how you make this specific carbohydrate diet. This is how you make this dairy-free. So she will go into all of that. And just, just a quick bit of advice on that. If it says maple syrup, if you're following the specific carbohydrate diet, you wouldn't be using maple syrup on that diet, but you can substitute honey. I know a lot of her recipes, and my favorite recipes of hers are her desserts because they're to die for. She's another one that has great pictures, so you can see the pictures on her website. But anyway, so Danielle Walker, againstallgrain.com is her website, so you can get free recipes there. So Caroline, thank you so much for that question. I hope that helps you and other moms out there that are looking for some free recipes for the specific carbohydrate diet. Okay, let's see. There's 2 more questions. This question comes from Jess. Jess is one of our moms in the Gut Love Mom community that I was telling you about. Here's her question. I'm already gluten-free and it's helped, but not completely. Thinking of trying SCD. How is gluten-free different from grain-free? So she's thinking she's already gluten-free. Jess has colitis. And so she tried a gluten-free approach to help that, and it sounds like it's helped a little bit, but not completely. So she's thinking maybe I'll go grain-free, and would the specific carbohydrate diet help with that? So I think that's absolutely a great idea, Jess, and here's the difference. So let's take a step back real quick and talk about gluten. So as you know, Jess, and just in case others are questioning this, gluten is a protein found in wheat. It's also found in barley, rye, and a number of other grains, but those are the main ones. And so what you're doing on a gluten-free diet is staying away from those grains. Now, those grains that you're eating, things like those gluten-free grains, things like amaranth and quinoa and millet and rice, those are still grains, but they're gluten-free. Now, when you take a grain-free approach, you wouldn't consume any of those grains at all. So that's really the difference between the gluten-free approach and a grain-free approach. With the grain-free approach, you're not only going to stay away from those gluten-free grains, you're going to stay away from all grains. Now, if you're watching this live or you're watching this after the fact, and that is a little bit and doesn't make sense to you, feel free to pop any question that you have about that in the comments, because I'll definitely come back later and answer any questions. But I hope, Jess, I hope that answers your question about how gluten-free and grain-free are different. But let me know if you have any further questions about that. Okay, last question. Let's see. This comes from Angela in Maryland. Hey, Angela. And got to give a shout out to my friend in Maryland because that's where I'm from too. So she wants to know, does it really work? I get this question so often. Does the specific carbohydrate diet work? In a word, yes. Yes, it works 75% of the time. I think that's pretty high. In fact, I have seen some studies that say as high as 95%, but if you go to the Breaking the Vicious Cycle website, that's all about the specific carbohydrate diet, it'll give you a statistic of about 75% of the time. Now, who is that 75%? Who are they talking about? They're talking about people, I was going to say moms, it's not just moms. They're going to say it's about people with Crohn's and colitis. So if you have Crohn's and colitis 75% of the time, it will help your symptoms. And I have to say that from my own experience working with clients on the specific carbohydrate diet, I've seen it work upwards of 100% of the time if, and only if, you follow it with what Elaine Gottschall, she's the mother of the specific carbohydrate diet. She's the one that brought all this attention to it. If you follow it with what she likes to call rigid adherence, yes, it is almost 100% effective in some way. Lowering your pain. Maybe your goal is to lessen your medication. Maybe your goal is to get rid of the leaky gut that you have. So it can be beneficial in a number of ways. So in a word, yes, I do think that the specific carbohydrate diet is beneficial, and it does work, and especially for moms with Crohn's and colitis. And I've seen it also work with people that have tried a gluten-free eating program and they're really sticking to it. You know, you're not cheating here and there, but you're really sticking to it, and it just isn't quite enough. Just like Jess was saying from Florida, she had tried gluten-free, but it just wasn't the perfect fit for her, and she knew she needed to go a little bit further. So even if you're gluten-free and you know you want to go a little bit further, this could be the fit for you. And what do you have to lose, really, right? If you're gluten-free and you find it's not working, you find that you need more, why not check it out? Why not try it? Now, I didn't get this question, but before we wrap up today, I just want to say that I do get this question a lot, and that question is, well, how do I know if it's working? How long should I try this for? And I would say a good rule of thumb is 30 days to 3 months. You should definitely start to see some improvement within that time. If you are following it to the letter, if you haven't cheated once in that whole time, then, and it's not working, then I would say this is not the program. This is not the eating plan for you. So you want to give it 30 days to 3 months. And for those of you that might have joined this video late, we're talking about the specific carbohydrate diet and my top 4 questions that I got after the last week's session, the Facebook Live session from before. And if you're wondering what the heck is this specific carbohydrate diet, it's a way of eating that's really beneficial for those with gut struggles, especially Crohn's and colitis. It can be really helpful to heal those symptoms. I think it's a great starter diet. That's where I started. Like I said, it's near and dear to my heart because that's where I started in 2008. I've morphed into a couple other eating plans since then, but really at the heart of how I control my Crohn's disease is through the specific carbohydrate diet. It involves eating no gluten, no grains, low dairy, and no sugar. So it's refined sugar free. So if you want more information about the specific carbohydrate diet, if you didn't see last week's episode, if you just scroll down a little bit in your Facebook feed, you can definitely find that one. And there's a free cheat sheet, and it'll tell you all about what foods you can eat, what foods you don't eat, who is it good for. It just gives you all the specifics about the specific carbohydrate diet. Wow, say that 3 times fast. Anyway, that's what I have for you guys today. I hope that information helped. If you have other questions about the specific carbohydrate diet, I'm here. I'm happy to answer them. So just leave a comment below this video and I'll be happy to answer your question. Remember, there is that cheat sheet, that how to make all this food work, how to make it easy for your family, how to make the specific carbohydrate diet work easily and stress-free for your family. There is that cheat sheet. You can get that link above the video. Feel free to check that out. Plus, if you haven't joined our Gut Love community for moms yet, what are you waiting for? This is a great group of moms where we give each other support, empowerment, and encouragement on our gut healing journey. It's really a fantastic place. So if you're a mom and you have gut struggles like Crohn's or colitis, stomach pain, bloating, gas, diarrhea, constipation, join us. It's a place where you can actually talk about this stuff and nobody's going to make fun of you and you're not going to feel weird about it. So join us. Join the Gut Love community. The link for that is also above this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. Again, leave your comments below, anything that you want to ask about the specific carbohydrate diet or just a comment that you might have about the video. I would love for you to do that. Okay, until we meet again, I'm going to wish you guys much gut love, much happiness, always, always, always. Bye for now. I'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Bye.